I have this culture. Every 6 months, I must learn something new. And also, we live in a society that values only vertical learning. Like if you are an engineer, it has to be engineering, 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 engineering. Please learn horizontally. Like you're gonna pick a lot of, especially if you are an engineer, you are an entrepreneur, because you're gonna manage your IT person. I remember paying mtu akinidanganya sijui domain and what, I didn't know anything.
So every time I would apply for a job, I always felt like, do I really, like, I'm competing with people who are more educated than me, you know? I'm competing with people who've gotten their degrees, maybe they've done one or two other jobs, but here I am. I'm in the waiting, I'm waiting to be interviewed together with them. And yes, I knew I was good at whatever it is I was applying for, but the fact that I didn't have papers to back me up, just it really just killed my spirit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember there's another client that I had from the US. So one day I just asked her, if I was in America, how much will you have paid me? Then she said 50,000. Then I was like, I'm in America right now because I'm chatting to you online. So I'm in America. Pay me 50,000. And I told her before I start work, 50,000 in my PayPal account. She sent the money. But still, but when I meet a Kenyan, I go back to 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 bob. Simply because these Kenyans, wanaangalia, what do you have? What qualifications do you have in order for you to verify this? Instead of me saying, by the way, I have value, that's why you are coming to me.
The people who hold you behind are very important. Because I used to have people, I tell them, I feel this job in Anibo, quitting even. And be like, why should you quit? Because it's pressuring you. Pressure makes you grow. Go back. Do it again. And I'm like, hata singe kukol.
So at some point, all of us have felt that we are not worthy, we don't belong. We have felt like we are fraudsters, we are robbing people when we are actually qualified for what we are talking about, or what someone gives you a compliment and you feel you don't deserve it. So we are here to have that conversation. And before we get deep into it, I would just like to go around. We have people here in our panel who will be talking to us, who will be helping us dissect this conversation. So I'll start from my exact right. James.
Oh, my name is Hawi James Ouma, the founder of Lifesong Kenya. So Lifesong Kenya gives second chances to boys who are in prison through restorative justice, education, and transitional housing. And I'm very glad to be here.
My name is Nafula Kisiangani. I'm the founder and the executive director of Ubuntu Development Solutions. We are a social development company that promotes sustainable social development in Africa through enhancing partnerships and building capacities of individual and organizations. So if you need someone to do your systems, if you're having an organization, fundraising, you need just structure and take it to the next level, like we are your to-go person. Other than that, I'm also a social justice advocate. Yes, and I'm a Pan-Africanist. And I'm so happy about this conversation because for me, I feel like entrepreneurship is really, 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 really important in Africa. It is a way of curbing over dependence that Africa has been subjected to, e.g. on donor funding and other things. Because entrepreneurship is an avenue for us to solve our problems as a people in more creative and sustainable ways.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rehab Kingori. I run an events management company called Radiant Events. Aside from that, I also started, I'd like to call it a movement or something, called Failure Stories, where we help entrepreneurs discuss their failures because we feel like so many people just talk about their successes. And when you hear success stories of these entrepreneurs, all you get is you won't even get motivated, yeah? But when you listen to their failure stories and how they were able to overcome the failures and the challenges that they underwent, then you learn something. And that is where the lesson is. So we do this thing called failure stories, where it is just an open session where people come and talk, regardless of whatever business it is that you're doing. You could be keeping chicken, you could be running a multinational company, whatever it is that you're doing, just sharing the challenges so that the person who is thinking of starting whatever it is that you're doing, they can learn from your mistakes and probably save them a lot of time, probably money, heartache, stress, and all that. Besides that, I also try, hence the imposter syndrome, because I've been asked a lot about people who just want to start a business and how to go about it and the fails and everything. So I try to advise. Like I said, I try because I don't feel like I am at that point. But the one or two people who have been able to give advice and lead them to the right direction, well, they've at least succeeded in whatever it is that they were doing. So I can't call myself a business coach, but I try. Thank you.
Imposter syndrome. I know, I know. So, hearing such powerful introductions, even I'm wondering how should I start. Anyway, my name is Brani Luve. I'm the founder and CEO of Brimon Global Holdings. It's a management consultancy firm that builds emerging and existing companies through our three models: functional, adaptable, and sustainable. So that's our practice. Basically, we aim at bringing two concepts that have been forgotten in Africa. That's relational and resource management. That's where we pour at. We don't know how to collaborate, we don't know how to work together, and we don't know how to manage resources. And it's good. Once I remember, through that, I was able to ask myself, which kind of an entrepreneur am I? And the transformational entrepreneurs, leaders, and all that. But one came to mind, and I thank God for it. I'm an identity entrepreneur. I bring my values to my company and to people's lives. That's basically it. I just want, whenever I meet a person, I want them to be functional, adaptable, and sustainable in their life, in their relationships, in their business. And once that happens holistically in them, they will bring out their true nature, their identity. So our company mainly draws out identity. So through that, we came up with we, because a lot of friends were telling me it's your thing, but now it's come out to be our thing too. So you start a WhatsApp group, which Esther is among the group. It's called BGA Club. It's an entrepreneur forum where entrepreneurs just come and meet up. I do this. Oh, a huge group. It's around 157, and it started out by helping people just get jobs for free. And the imposter syndrome was like, what do I tell these guys? These are professionals. These are lawyers who've been there for years, 27, 30 years. These are guys from Sweden. These are guys from UK. You get, how do you tell them about things that they already know? But I came to understand one thing. Your value and your identity is important to this world. And specifically, my motto is promoting African excellence to the world and all over. The world is just a blueprint, but now Elon Musk has broke it. We can go to Mars. We can take it to Mars. And that's what I aim to bring to the table every time, any conversation. And my journey, as she said, I also do leadership on the side. I also do caregiving. I'm a cerebral palsy ambassador and caregiver. Anywhere there is a child with cerebral palsy or anyone, I am there fully. I'm there fully because it's something that I've done. I've decided to take it upon myself without an extra charge. So I do so many things, but that encompasses all that I do. And I'm so happy talking to you guys. I love people. As I said, I love people. When I see you overcome something and grow to your next potential, who you are, your capacity, I love that. Yes, let me stop hogging the mic.
Thank you for those powerful introductions, James, Nafula, Rahab, and Brian. Now, listening to you guys, I'm tempted to ask, in your entrepreneurship journey, is there a time you have felt inadequate, that you cannot do it? Let me start with James.
Yes, a lot of times, because entrepreneurship is about earning, right? Earning an income. So for me, I think I started backwards. I started with giving back to the community, like growing this prison program. And so most of the time I will meet people earning a lot of money from their work. Then they will be like, how is this bringing food on your table? And then I'll tell them that my plan, I have a long-term plan, and I know that at some point it will start paying off. And it will start paying off as a result of me creating meaning for male teens who are exiting prison. And so it's something that so then now along the way, I actually had to like sit down with myself and then tell myself that you have value. So just start now creating value, and especially not the people that you've known. Yeah, because I came to realize that the people that I was targeting are people from my church. And so they will be telling me, you don't even have a degree in sociology. So how will you work with boys who need psychosocial support? But I came to discover that I'm a very good person who can like create teams, build teams, so that now what I'm not able to answer, I'll be able to answer it that way. And so for me, like I've said, wait not for this lady, by the way, telling me in this syndrome that I'm still okay, like learning about imposter syndrome. I will have not realized, by the way, I have full potential, and I've been having it. Even when I was going to prison in 2012, I actually had it with me. It's only that I was not honoring it more, and I was not like coming out to the world that I have it. Because the same things that I'm using right now, creative writing, inspiring someone to be great, to find their clarity, are the same things that I had even when I was starting this prison program. And because I'd allowed myself also to wallow into this. So now I just deeply got into it. And then now found myself in a place whereby even when someone says, you're able to do this, you're charging me less, I'm actually going to pay you. But I remember as a writer being paid 30,000 for an article. I was like, oh my God. Oh my goodness me! As in, I've been like, because back then when someone gave me like, okay, tells me 300, no, 1,000 words for 1,000, then I sit down, then I'm like, so 1,000 times how many articles per day? 5 articles, so that's 5,000. But then again, now I didn't know that, by the way, it's going to take me actually a lot of time to research one article and to do it like with quality. And then also, because now I was very afraid, I was not able to say, look, where are you taking these articles to? Can I talk to that person like directly? So the moment this person just told me, okay, so I just told him, oh yeah, I remember there's another client that I had from the US. So one day I just asked her, if I was in America, how much will you have paid me? Then she said 50,000. Then I was like, I'm in America right now, because I'm chatting to you online. So I'm in America. Pay me 50,000. And I told her, before I start work, 50,000 in my PayPal account. She sent the money. But still, but when I meet a Kenyan, I go back to 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 bob. Simply because these Kenyans, wanaangalia, what do you have? What qualifications do you have in order for you to verify this? Instead of me saying, by the way, I have value, that's why you are coming to me. So for me, this is something that I think it shows up. It shows up, especially now. If like let's say now, if I meet someone in my church, trust me, I'll just go back to 1,000 bob, because they'll just ask me, James, wetu nakujua. I'll just study this thing. But then again, yeah, you're not an expert. But if I meet someone outside, someone who's not from my church, trust me, I'll just tell them 30,000. I'll tell them per hour I charge 5,000 for me to spend time with your son, 5,000. But now for me, I'm in that place whereby now having discovered that even though I'm very big on words, yeah, I'm very big on words. But then again, when I put them together, I actually realize, oh, I've been having this syndrome. It's only that it's showing up in other areas because I'm very courageous. But then again, now I don't have enough courage now to charge a client very well. So it shows up.
James has mentioned that thing about writing, and I've remembered just last year when I was offered this opportunity to write 50 articles, 5 articles, and one was being charged 10,000 shillings. And when I asked about the length, they told me 500 words, and I was like, no, that is a lie, because 10K for 500 words, I felt like I didn't deserve it. So what he's saying, I understand. Nafula, have you felt inadequate?
I think for me, my personality, and I think I was also privileged before I got into entrepreneurship. I've had like opportunities, and that's why it's in rare circumstances that I've felt inadequate. In fact, sometimes I've felt over adequate. So the instances where I've felt inadequate, it's been systemic. It wasn't from inside me. Like just a little bit about my entrepreneurship journey. For me, I've always been passionate about social justice. I started it immediately after high school. I was 19, 20. I started it then in campus. I used to sell porridge to help the needy and to do everything. I did finance and accounting in UN. So I used to enjoy selling porridge more and helping people more than what took me to school. Actually, I could even miss classes for that. Luckily, I passed. Like, God gave me natural brains. So when I got outside here, I worked for like 2 years in finance and accounts role. But I didn't enjoy. I love, like, I wanted the experience. I wanted to learn. But over the weekend, I will still go to the ghettos to talk with girls, to talk with women. I will do my projects. So I had to make a bold decision. That was 2016, 2 years after. Luckily, I never tarmacked. So 2 years later, I made a bold decision, and I resigned from my job. Actually, I had 5,000 shillings in my account, but I was saying I'm not going to do a job where I'm just paying bills. The things I'm enjoying are the other ones. Life was tough. That is a story for another thing. It's not for today. But I had to make that decision. So why I'm saying that I didn't suffer a lot of imposter, because I had clarity of purpose. I knew that my things that impact people's lives directly give me satisfaction and fulfillment, that I even had to resign from my work. And then I had gotten some validation before. Like, I had some UN women recognition, and then I had I was in Yali too. I had quite a number of in campus. My organization, I won the national award. It was the best in the nation. You get it? So I was getting out knowing I'm great. Not to brag, but just to say it as it is. To own it. You get it? And then also immediately when I started my entrepreneurship journey, I got the Tony Elumelu Foundation Awards. So like for me, I was starting from my point of passion and clarity, though it took a lot of work because of our society. First of all, I come from a family of academicians. Like, in my family, people are not business people. So when I resigned, like, they were like, umerogwa. You get it? How can you like get an A, go to school, and then unawacha kazi kwenda kukana wamama kwa ghetto? You know, it never made sense to my dad. And you know how activism in our society is also seen as something for failures. So it came with too much opposition. Like, I clashed with my family badly. You get it? They never understand switching. And then one thing about businesses, it takes time before it makes sense. So the day I wrote to my dad a check of 40K, that day he was shocked and he started respecting what I do. So for me, like, imposter syndrome, mainly the challenges I had were from systemic, just like he said. I was going into social development. I had been in UN spaces lobbying for things, so I understood the issues, but I didn't have papers. My papers were finance and accounting. So when you're going outside here, you are discredited sometimes because you didn't do that. I had to go back to school to do masters in development in development studies. So that was systemic. But personally, I don't have, I don't think that has been my issue. And other than also pricing the thing, but I think that was lack of empowerment. It was not more of on imposter syndrome. But now for a holistic, to make this conversation more productive and meaningful, well, I will just want to encourage entrepreneurs, like you have to prioritize your personal development. Learning, it's really important that you're attending these sessions. That is how you're going to kill all those. Like for me, I have this culture. Every 6 months, I must learn something new. And also, we live in a society that values only vertical learning. Like if you are an engineer, it has to be engineering, 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 engineering. Please learn horizontally. Like you're gonna pick a lot of, especially if you are an engineer, you are an entrepreneur, because you're gonna manage your IT person. I remember paying mtu akinidanganya sijui domain and what, I didn't know anything. I was so naive. Like when I was explaining my story to someone, they were really laughing at me. Ni kama you paid for air without without knowing. Please learn crossboard. That is how you're gonna kill these instances. Be very thirsty for knowledge, and then also it's also important that you join a community. Yeah, it's going to help you like deal with it. I like focusing on solutions more than amplifying the problem. So my takeaway is that, guys, while saying this, is that prioritize your capacity building, go to opportunity desks, go for fellowship, apply for those opportunities. You will be shocked you will get it. By the way, people think that sometimes ni kujuana. Hapana, mi sikujua mtu nikiapply yali, sikujua mtu when I was being recognized by UN, sikujua mtu by when I got my award. You get it? When I was applying for TEF, sikujua mtu. You get it? You just try, and also get mentorship. Go and look for mentors outside there. Mentors really, really, really help.
Wow. Tanza wapi. I think I have suffered imposter syndrome for pretty much my whole career life. Like that is starting from when I started employment, because number one, I never completed my degree. I dropped out, but I have plans of going back. So every time I would apply for a job, I always felt like, do I really, like, I'm competing with people who are more educated than me, you know? I'm competing with people who've gotten their degrees, maybe they've done one or two other jobs, but here I am, I'm in the waiting, I'm waiting to be interviewed together with them. And yes, I knew I was good at whatever it is I was applying for, but the fact that I didn't have papers to back me up, it really just killed my spirit. Yeah. And I remember this one instance. I think this was like my second last employment, and in 2016, and I was in the waiting area with a lady who had just finished her master's, and here I am without even a degree. I just told her, you know what, best of luck. Let me just go, because surely we're not even on the same level. You know, they said stick to your lane, know your lane. So, but now when we went in and we did the written interview, it turned out I was better than her. Yeah. And then we went for the second interview, and I got it. She was actually telling me congratulations, and I couldn't believe it. Even like when I was signing the contract, I was like, am I being punked? Will she come and you know? So it's something that is there. And I feel like a lot of times it is there because we feel inadequate within ourselves. Maybe because of like what society has put out there as like the SI unit for being successful, you know, go to school, get a degree. When I dropped out, I started working. I actually interned for some white lady. That's how I got into the events industry. I interned for her, and I learned a lot from her. So even without the degree, which was in communications and not events, so it wouldn't have really helped so much, I was still better qualified than the people who had gotten the masters, because I had the hands-on experience. But the fact that I didn't have this one paper, it just made me feel so inadequate. That is one. A second instance I want to give is I don't know whether any of you know this some American big shot. He's called Grant Cardone. So me and my ambitious self, yeah, in 2018 they were having this 10x growth conference. So and they kept like sending all these marketing emails, buy your ticket, buy your ticket, this is the biggest event in the world ever. So I just emailed them and I said, yo, I'm in Kenya, me I can't afford to buy the ticket, I can't even afford like my flight there, so you guys sort me out. And they emailed back and they said, you get yourself to Miami, we will sort your accommodation and your flight back. I couldn't even believe. I just couldn't believe. Like, and then I didn't go, yeah. So, cause who's gonna, like, you can't buy a one-way ticket to America. So even if they say they'll pay your flight back, you need to have bought the return ticket, yeah. Oh, and I didn't have money. I was jobless. I had just started my business, and then something happened, and I had to stop it. But the fact that had I just figured it out, yeah, gotten myself to Miami, I'd have attended that conference with Grant and be accommodated and everything. But I just felt, why me? Like, yes, I was bold enough to write that email. I'm sure they were shocked, yeah? Who's this Kenyan third world country person, asking us to accommodate her? But I just felt like after I received the email from them, I just felt like, whoa, no, this can't be me. Why would they even want to? Like, I've done nothing. I'm not an entrepreneur, nothing. So I just feel like it has always been with me where you're in these situations and you're like a step to making it, and then you just doubt yourself and it clouds everything else for you. I'm going to give one last example, and this one it stung me real hard, and that is when I thought maybe I need to up my game and to just be confident about myself. One of the malls was celebrating their 5th anniversary, and I'm friends with the marketing people, and they asked me to do a proposal for their 5th anniversary. And so I asked them, am I the only one doing the proposal? And they said, no, there's like 4 other companies. And if you know events, there's like me, I'm nowhere. Then there's all the big companies. So I just thought, like, fine, I'll do the proposal, but surely, like, there's those ones who will already get it. So I did a really flimsy proposal, but turns out it was good, and I got the job. And you see, that was the first step. So me, I thought, this is amazing. They'll deposit the money in my account. And they told me, no, we'll just give you an LPO. I nearly fainted. Because why am I getting like $500,000 to do this event? Yes, I've done the proposal. Yes, I've been given the gig. But okay. Did I misrepresent myself by saying that I can do this? Are there other companies that have the capacity to do it? Why did I even send this proposal? What is wrong with me? Where am I getting this money? But somehow I managed to do it because they weren't going to give you the LPO and then like 2 or 3 days to it you say, oh, nimekosa pesa, poleni. You'll just look really shady. So I had to figure it out and I did it. But I just felt like the whole time I was doing it, I was just so doubtful of every step of the way. Is it going to be better? Are these other events companies going to come and see what I'm doing? I actually had to go and see what those companies are doing just so that I can be at their level. But it's when you realize you have the capacity within you, then I just feel like that is when we're going to sort of manage the imposter syndrome and just, I don't know, stop doubting too much.
Wow. 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 I think everybody has talked everything from the systemic to actually believing that you're there. Actually, there's I have three of them, but I'll simplify them because I think everyone has just said them all. The first one was now it's there. Everybody knows the company, the brand as you. So there's the pressure of it should be this. Everyone is giving you a voice of how the company should be. You get? And we've seen it. Hata logo yako tumeona hiyo graphics ina cartoon kitu ya majuu. You should just go to Crunchbase, put in just something and go. But that wasn't my model. You get? It's easy. We can get funds. I can just post my business in Crunchbase, get the first seed fund and all that. But how will I show these people it is functional, adaptable, and sustainable if I have not managed the resources that I have? You get? And a lot of voices, here, entrepreneurs, regional managers who people knew me. But I'll base mine first started when I was working in this place. It's a company called Swissport Kenya Limited. Swissport Kenya, yeah. Basically they do ground handling and other services. So when guys were talking about imposters, I used to be that person in the airport. When you come with a passport, visa, nini, everything, you're not assured you're gonna fly because the requirements I'm checking also. Are you fit to fly? We used to be one of those people checking posters and flying out and all those kind of things. And before I reached that journey, I remember one day, I'm just waiting for this flight to happen. Like it's Qatar Airways, Sanane, ndio wanafungua check-in. And I'm like, how did you get here? That was the question I asked myself first. How did you get here? And I started looking at my growth span. It was 3 months. After every 3 months, I used to be promoted to another new place. But what made me become promoted to this other place? I will not lie to you. The people, the voices, the people who hold you, like what she said, the people who hold you behind are very important. Because I used to have people, I tell them, I feel this job in Anibo, quitting even. And why should you quit? Because it's pressuring you. Pressure makes you grow. Go back. Do it again. And I'm like, hata singe kukol. And I learned one thing. In the midst of the imposter syndrome, one of the things that make people amplify imposter syndrome is pressure. Because pressure means, guess what? Pressure means growth. You're coming out of your normal. But there is pressure that is induced and self-induced. So I noticed from that, I'll give myself high targets that I have to achieve. It doesn't necessarily mean that I have to achieve them, but at the end of it all, let me have a high benchmark. And at some point, I could get discouraged because I'm not reaching them. At some point, I could overreach them, and I'm like, wow. But there was always that thing that, like, I need to do more. And a friend of mine just approached me and told me, hey, Brian, manze unafanyanga vitu mob. Unafanyanga vitu mob. I think, naweza sema as a person, me like one thing with you, I see energy. And that's one of my values, energy in everything that I do. And secondly to that is anxiety. Many people never talk about this. Anxiety. It's something everyone goes through, but tunailenga. Yeah? And most of us, when we get to that point, tunakulanga KFC, all pizza in, we eat. There's some, and it happens, and it's normal. But I've learned to say, like, I'm anxious, I'm going to be speaking about you guys, but I'm so excited because out of here, some guys are going to be learning something. I took that anxiety, incubated it, turned it into something. It's not bad to feel what you're feeling, even the imposter syndrome, but incubate it. And I like one thing that he was addressing. One thing about imposter syndrome that helped me come out was self-awareness. Very important, even right now. Business, artist, whoever you are, self-awareness. It comes whereby what Black was just saying, let's separate the feelings to the facts. And once you reach that point, you can be able, as you sit somewhere, you answer and you present yourself objectively. Sorry. Hey. Hey, you make conjunction. So, one takeout I would want all of you to apply is Apply stagility. Stagility. Normalize being stable. Learn your feelings. Know your triggers. And be agile in what you do. Be aggressive. If you're a singer, let me know you're a singer by even just by the way you just come and touch that mic and move this place. Do it. Don't look at anyone who is here. Do it. If you're a financial consultant, do it like you're the best in the world. I say when I go to meetings, even Zoom meetings, and I get to hear you're the one who's leading, Brian. I do it like there's no other guy. And that's why every time it happens, it's like, you guy. So unafanya ile kitu wewe ufanya. But at the back, I'm like, these are big people. And I was telling people, just because of the cameras and all that, I can't mention, but there are big people in the industry. You're like, Brian Iluve, you're like, unangalia Zoom meeting. Wait, is there another Brian? Maybe there's something wrong. But when now you own it, what they're saying, own it. Yes, I'm facing it. And it's the first thing that I was saying earlier on. Own it, incubate it, then sit with yourself. And stagility. Don't forget stagility. Be stable with your feelings. Learn your feelings, your triggers. And then run. Run with what you want to do. I think that's what I'll just...
Oh, thank you, guys. I've picked out some things that I would like to repeat because our time is far much spent and we should be wrapping up this session. So as Brian has said, the first step, Brian and Rahab have said it, owning that you have that problem, that you are inadequate, and then you start working towards overcoming it. And Nafula mentioned some crucial points about having the thirst to learn, that keep learning and grow yourself. Prioritize your capacity building, and building confidence. On that bit of building confidence, I would like Nafula to finalize for us, on the bit of taming the imposter syndrome. So I would like Nafula to finalize for us this conversation.
Okay. For me, these are just this. I think I said in my previous what I just said, but I'm going to now emphasize because this should be our major takeaway. First of all, capacity building is very, very important. Just like my colleagues have said, you'll find the imposter syndrome is a conglomeration of issues, right from societal factors, our traumas as children. You'll find maybe you're always compared. Mtoto wa huyu amepita, huyu hajapita. All those things, they shape you. So as an entrepreneur, you have to, as an African entrepreneur, first of all, you are so much disadvantaged because you are operating in a low-resourced area. And most of us, like I said, we have all these traumas. So you really, really need to work on personal development. Work with life coaches to understand your traumas, to start believing in yourself. Like for me, I used to struggle a lot with self-esteem when I was in high school. But you see, some things look simple, but they really affect people. Even you see the way the models were dark, were light, tall girls. You get it, and then I also come from a family where some of my sisters are like that, and then you are your own personal. So sometimes you walk, people just the way men will choose and they want to put you down. So I really struggled with it. But someone will tell you right now, I'm among the people who really believe in themselves. You cannot trust me. And I tell you cannot put me down. You are the one who will go down. If you ever try that. So you really need to work with life coach. You need to work on your capacity. These opportunities are there. Join communities like the Dream Tribe. I also have my community for those who are advancing social development. It's called the Ubuntu community. Also have mentors. Prioritize having mentors. These people have been there and they know these challenges. You don't need to make a mistake to learn from it. Sometimes you can learn from other people's mistake. I personally am a mentor and I mentor quite a number of people. And another thing also, self-awareness. Like self-awareness is everything. We have to be very, very, very authentic. Personally, I don't like suits. So I've also, there is so much so much rules, unwritten rules. You get it, that sometimes you might lose yourself in trying to win things. And for me, I'm always like, I want to win with myself. Like I have already defined what is my past. I will Any win that is against myself is nothing. We also live in a society that has glorified a lot of PR more than the real work. Like I'll just tell you, like branding is not just painting your product. Like instead of just painting the cracked walls, you have to repair the cracked walls, because sometimes it's that struggle to keep up with the Kardashian, struggle with FB. You've seen someone has done this, fear of missing out. Like this imposter syndrome is a conglomeration of issues, and you have to be very, very authentic as an entrepreneur. Trust your ability. My strength is in talking. Like I'm quite very assertive, but I have also a weakness. I'm not very good in a. I need someone to help me to be organized. Are you seeing how you are important? So you'll feel someone is like, oh, I want to be like with Nafula. You don't know Nafula, how I struggle even with myself. Like I need someone to come and help me put my things. Like I feel like sometimes my head runs so fast, something like that. So trust yourself, believe in yourself. You are worthy and you are enough, and you are up to the task and up to the call. Just believe in yourself, but just build your capacities. In summary, just build your capacities to overcome all those self doubts. Yeah, it's your intrapersonal skill is very, very important in overcoming these issues. You realize that the people you admire, you are even better than them sometimes. Yeah, they also admire you. Yeah, they cannot tell you, but you realize that they also admire you. Kuna kitu uko nayo yenye hawana. So just believe in yourself. Just be yourself. Be your unique being. You are a child of God. God did not create and imitate. For me, that works for me. Like I don't care. Like those in our group, someone was telling me, I want you to be like so and said, no, I'm Nafula Kisiangani. You get it? I'm the one of my generation. I'm not gonna be like someone. You get it? Because they make it appear like it's sort of flattering, but they don't know that, first of all, you are two different people. You are also unique. So just be yourself and strive to be the higher version of yourself any point. There is finally, before, since I told you guys to also go for mentorship, you also have to be cautious about the mentors who are mentoring you. There are people who want you to be like them. That is not mentorship. A mentor wants you to be the highest version of yourself. I'm very political, by the way. I have my mentees who fight me in political spaces. But you see, they are being themselves. That has never stopped us from our engagement. Your mentor should normalize that sometimes you are even greater than them, like in your abilities. Some people want to put you within their limits. You get it? Please have mentors who allow you to be your authentic beings, who are guiding you to be the best version of yourself, and not their side mirrors or other things, please. So when you're looking for mentors, also be very intentional about who you are going to mentor you. That is a challenge I face outside there. There are some people, when you start shining, they begin having a challenge, or they want to patronize you. No. You should still have rooms to make your mistakes and learn from them. In as much as you are a mentee, you should still be very, very authentic. So, like, go there and continue conquering. We need more entrepreneurs. And I'm here to validate your journeys, to validate your experience. And I'm so excited to meet all of you. And we are going to grow on this together.
Be yourself and strive to be the better version of yourself every day. Very powerful. Thank you so much, Nafula, James, Rahab, and Brian. I know we have questions from the audience, but time is far much spent. But after this session, just make sure you reach out to the person that you want to direct your question to, and let them sort you out. Thank you so much.